Throughout history, the ancient and the indigenous peoples have reminded us of the power of thought and the role that that power may play in our lives. Particularly poignant story is shared through the people in northern New Mexico regarding themselves, the power of thought, and this mountain you see behind me, the Ute Mountain. And a hunting party in the late 1800s passing through this part of the country, the winter feeding grounds for tremendous herds of elk and buffalo and antelope. And in late fall, as the men, women, and children were passing over the Ute Mountain hunting area, an early winter storm came upon them quite unexpectedly. Well, there was no food, as the animals had not made it there for their winter feeding yet. And very quickly, the people of the tribe recognized that if anyone were to survive, some would have to stay behind and some would have to move on. And there was a choice that was made by all for the good of the entire tribe and that particular hunting party, that the women would stay behind and the men would go forward, set up their camps, and as soon as they could in the spring, they would come back to this particular place and gather up the people. Well, as circumstances had it, there were a lot of other factors that were happening, and they were not able to get back into this place for 2 full years. 2 years later, the men of the tribe went back to the place where they believed they would find the remains of those who they had loved and left behind. And they would, through ceremony, they would honor the gift that they had given to the tribe in their staying behind. Well, to their joy, as well as their surprise, what they discovered was not only had the entire group of women survived, that during the 2 years, many of them had actually conceived life without the seed of a man allowing that process. And this was, initially, it was a mystery to the tribe as to how this could happen. And as they prayed for a group dream, the dream came to the tribe, and they were shown how the power of thought had allowed the cells within the body of woman to conceive the life they were so choosing to bring forward. Well, recent research has now demonstrated that there may be more to this story than simply an old story that was told 150 years ago. In laboratory conditions, female ovum have been touched in such a way, mechanically, to allow them to believe that conception has occurred. And in that belief, the cells begin to divide, and conception, in fact, does occur without the use of the male seed. Is it possible that the power of our thought is so potent that it can even bring forth life from our bodies?